The following video is brought to you by the guys at the Wrecking and Racing Podcast, a NASCAR podcast made by the fans for the fans. Check them out at www.wreckingandracing.com, facebook.com/wreckingandracing, and Twitter at Wrecking and Racing. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Saka here, and welcome back to another episode of NASCAR Racing 2003 season, the 2019 mod, and we are here at Michigan. Very fast, very wide, 2-mile D-shaped oval, and we are starting on the inside row here behind Alex Bowman, and you can see on the pole there is Brandon in that wreckingandracing.com Toyota. So a good starting spot for Brandon and a better starting spot than last week for me for sure, and I'm anticipating a 5-wide start. These guys go pretty ham on the start for sure. A lot of track to go and use to the best of our ability. So we're settling in for 20 laps. We will have pit stops this time around, so strategy may come into play. Don't know if fuel mileage is going to be a thing, but we will soon see as we wait for the green flag to drop, and green flag is out. We actually got through the second gear a little bit iffy, but we were picking up speed even before the green flag dropped. We didn't lose a whole lot of momentum, and we're here on the bottom, so as long as we're nice and easy on corner entry, we should be okay. Austin Dillon keeping us right on that yellow line, and the car gets really loose as we're under him, so let's see if we can get back in line and make a forward charge. And it's a long race. As long as we stay within the draft, we're fine. Speaking of in the draft, though, Brandon gets washed out in turn 3 and 4, and Kevin Harvick will get to his inside. Harvick is looking for his second win of the year. He is in the playoffs right now and really buzzing this engine hard, going down to the apron, making the most of it, almost on the chip with a massive pull. And I'll be a little bit careful going into turn 1, looking in the mirror. We're starting to gap a group behind us, so you know, it's eyes in the front. If we make a mistake, we won't lose that many positions. We just can't afford to really slide up and bend the thing. Looks like Denny Hamlin now trying for his first win of the year. He's going for the lead on Kevin Harvick. Denny Hamlin has been so close yet so far away. Getting that push from Kurt Busch down the front straightaway. We will get behind Austin Dillon here, and he'll get the pull off of Alex Bowman, and everyone will be pulling everyone and really on the chip. That's not going to be good for fuel mileage, but we only have to go about 5 laps in before we are within the fuel window. So we can ask ourselves, do we want to split this race in half, 10 and 10? Oh wow, the high lane gets choked up. Really bad gets choked up. We can drive to the inside. Let's see if we can get under the 12 here. I don't know if Brandon had some difficulty getting off the corner, but that high line definitely did not get going. So we will take advantage for sure. And how about Landon Castle up here running inside the top 10? I anticipate him making an extra pit stop or doing something crazy to lose that spot. But he's keeping us honest there on the high side. We're clear. Now we can get the drive off behind Boyer. And the leaders are starting to single file out, which may be a little bit difficult to catch them. We need to stay in the tow. And if Landon Castle starts backing up the guys behind him, we should be free and clear. But no, here comes Landon. We drive to the outside a bit, get shuffled out by Boyer. It looked like he put a little bit more slowdown in his step going into turn 3 and caused us to choke up and have to go to the high line. Ideally, we want to get past him here inside turn 1 and 2. We'll get the fender on Boyer. Brandon scraping hard behind Jimmy Johnson in 5th place. We will move into 6th if we can just clear Boyer. He's keeping a hard fight on that outside lane. Finally, he drops back. I don't know if he dropped back or we got the boost, but we are now in front, and so is Brad Keselowski looking under Denny Hamlin. Brad will be going for his second win of the year as well. But Brandon's got that pull from Brad now. He may be fighting for the lead, and there he goes down to the bottom. White line fighting for the lead, 3 wide going into turn 1. That's what Michigan is all about. Multiple corner entries, 3 and 4 wide for the lead. And we just need to stay honest here behind Jimmy Johnson. See if we can leave Clint Boyer a bit. And Jimmy looks to maybe roll out of the gas. Maybe Kevin Harvick scared him a bit, dodging in and out of lane. I'm also a little bit leery of them coming to pit road. I'm not sure when the AI are going to pit. Usually they pit at the halfway mark. That would be a lap 10, but with this crazy strategy, who knows? But I do know we are going around Jimmy Johnson and possibly Kevin Harvick here, going into turn 1 with a very good run. Harvick is hanging tough on the outside. We're going to stay beside him, not clear him off the corner though. That's going to hurt our drive off speed, and he'll get that pull off Brad Keselowski to keep right there on our corner. But we'll clear him going in. We drove in just a little bit harder to ensure that we did clear him. That's going to scrub off some mid-corner speed. We'll need to get behind Brad and see if we can get that pull down the front straightaway here. And Brad pulling off of Denny. And Denny's rather low for the AI line. You see Brandon right up by the wall to get that arc into turn 1, and it looked like Denny was running a little bit lower. Jimmy Johnson to the inside of Kevin Harvick behind us. As long as they're side by side, we should be able to gap them just a little bit and focus on the lead, especially since Brad going to the inside of Denny Hamlin. We might be able to get these guys off of turn 4. If they can't figure their life out and we can get a solid run, then all is well, as long as we're not laying on the chip. The gear ratio is about as good as it gets, I imagine. We're not... If only we could have went just a little bit taller, but we're not on the chip for long. So that's all well and good. If we got on the chip outside of turn 4 and just rode the chip down the entire straightaway, then we would definitely have a problem. And speaking of problems, looks like Denny Hamlin may have a problem with Brad Keselowski here going to the inside, and he's going to be our problem too. These guys are bottlenecking, and Brandon's getting a sizable lead now while these guys are faffing about. Yeah, we're going to have to get that pull off of Brad Keselowski here, go to his inside if we can. Yes, indeed, right to the white line. And we may clear Hamlin as well, right on the chip going in. Rolling into the corner a little bit tougher, trying to keep the car down, not washing up too awful high. But Brad can't get that drive off with Denny right there, so we'll finally pass Brad and Denny. He will get that pull behind us, and Brad will settle into 4th, it looks like. And now it's just Brandon out in front. And we have to wonder what fuel strategy is he going to play? What fuel strategy are we going to play? We know we only need maybe a can to a can and a half, so 2 tires is definitely within the realm of possibility. Also, what are the AI thinking as far as their tire goes? Usually Michigan and California, they do 2 tire stops, but some do 4. I've won races here by taking 4 and running everyone back down, and I've lost races here by taking 4 and trying to run everybody back down. So I think this particular race, I will do 2 tires, just right sides, and get back on the track as soon as I can. But we'll be within the realm of pit stops soon, and Brandon is just hauling the mail here. If he's not going to get 4 tires, his left sides may be abused, which may work to our favor as this race goes on. Of course, no way to tell what is going to happen in the future, so we'll just be as conservative as we can on these left sides, try not to abuse them too awful much into the wall. But nah, if our right sides get scuffed, those are the ones that's going to be changed out anyway. But Brandon is definitely clicking off some very fast laps here and going hard, so, you know, he may be thinking 4 tires, but he's on pit road. Coming down, we'll stay out to lead this lap, and it doesn't look like any of the AI behind us are coming down. With Brandon pitting out of the lead, he's got some time to make his stop and get off of pit road in front of us and not go a lap down if an untimely yellow were to occur. They're 3 wide behind us, and that may get a little iffy coming down to pit road. If these guys can't sort out their lives, there may be a crash coming to pit road. So I'll stay out probably another lap or 2 just to see what happens here. Nope, not going to do it. These guys are going to come. I want to be on the same strategy as them. Looks like Denny's going to shore it up a bit, and I think that's Brandon there leaving pit road. So he will remain on the lead lap. I don't know if he took 2 or 4, but possibly 4, depending on the time that he took to do it. So we'll just do right sides and put in a mere can of fuel to make it to the end. So let's get those tires on, boys. Let's go. All right, right sides are on. Fuel is in, down and away. It looked like the car behind us took 2 tires as well. Did Denny Hamlin take 2? Yes, indeed he did. Looks like they were waiting on fuel as well. So everyone on the same strategy. We'll see where we come out in relation to Brandon. But if he took 4 tires, which I believe he did, yeah, here he comes through 1 and 2 right now. So we may be behind him just a little bit. There he goes on the high side. We can blend up. So based on his speed, perhaps he took 4 and gave up an extra few seconds because we weren't this close before pit stops happened, so maybe he did take 4. But now it's up to us to track him down and get our lap back. Assuming we lost the lap. Passing all these guys for position here on pit road. Looks like a swarm coming to pit road here. And let's get through this turn as fast as we can. Brandon's starting to gap and yellow flag is out. So we'll be making these passes for position, I believe. We'll get around Brad Keselowski, who was fighting with Kevin Harvick before. But yeah, with just a handful of laps to go, I don't know if we are actually going to get back racing or not. It's going to be questionable. So we'll see where we come out in the grand scheme of things as far as the yellow flag goes, and I'll be right back with you. And there's the checkered flag, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't know if you saw the craziness by Kyle Larson and Ryan Newman behind us, but apparently there is a reason, because we finished 5th in this race. Brandon finished 4th. Looking at the top 10 here, we've got ourselves in 5th, Brad Keselowski in 6th. Kyle Larson is your winner. 7th place, Kyle Busch. 2nd, Ryan Newman. 8th place, Ryan Blaney. 3rd place, Michael McDowell. 9th place, Daniel Suarez. And 10th place, Denny Hamlin, who is all jacked up. And one thing that I want to see first is how in the world did Kyle Larson get in front of us? And I believe it was a similar situation to a few years ago at Homestead when I won the championship. He must have been on pit road as the yellow flag came out. And then he essentially, yes, froze the field. And what's funny is what happened to Suarez. Based on when that caution came out, Suarez would have been across the line. Oof. So when does the yellow come out here? Just looking at that flag, man. There we go. So yellow flag comes out right here, yes? Kind of looks like it does. Yeah, yellow flag is out right there. Kyle Larson is in the 1st position. Daniel Suarez is in 2nd. Interesting. So the start-finish line would actually be a little bit before this. It's a shame it doesn't show where the start-finish line is in the grand scheme of things, but we can see from Suarez's right side that right There, he took the caution in first place. And then Kyle Larson passed him on pit road. Oh, there's the crash in front. So yeah, there's what brought it out. But I'm interested to see, because there's Byron in 35th. Larson was leading. Suarez was in second. I imagine Ryan Newman. And there's Michael McDowell coming into play as well. How did they get off pit road? Ah, so Suarez actually... If Suarez took... Oh, he fixed damage. If Suarez just took fuel only and got off of pit road before Kyle Larson, that would have been it. Suarez would have been your winner. And boy, old boy was messed up. Did Larson pass the paddle? No, because the pace car hadn't came around yet. So the pace car would have been right there inside turn 2 when all this happened. So that gave Kyle Larson free reign to leave and basically trap everyone a lap down. Now if... Let's see, and this pass was for position. So Newman was there, Stenhouse was there. Brandon was crossing the line here. And that is, I guess, how that happened. I really don't know. I do not know indeed, but good job to Kyle Larson. Let's see what happened to these guys. And Tanner Berryhill seemed to be on pit road right before the crash happened. So let's fast forward and see what happens here with an actual good camera angle. All right, so Berryhill's driving along. He's driving along and crash in front. All right, so Busher, Harvick. Interesting. What happened to Harv? And someone else is spinning up there too. Chase Elliott. Oh, so this was the main crash that happened actually right as we were passing. Can we get an actual good camera view of this, please? As they come off pit road. Yeah, Truex just turns Harvick with Stenhouse into the wall, bringing out the caution. Then there was an ancillary crash with Chase Elliott. But yeah, old Ricky Stenhouse decides to put himself right in the middle of those two. Harvick gets spun up into the wall with Stenhouse and Truex. And then right there, Dylan spins out Chase Elliott, who is minding his own business. Yeah, right on the bottom, there goes Chase Elliott up into the racing groove. Okay, does anything... Something must have happened to Berryhill, because there he is with the 95 getting all jacked up. Some drivers took to the grass. And I believe Denny Hamlin was also involved. He had a ton of damage. But he's going to come down in here, see the crash, bob and weave into Stenhouse, and there's Berryhill and McDowell and Ross Chastain bottlenecking there. So caution brought out a caution, and that was, oof. They couldn't figure their life out at all. Just look at them go. There goes the pace car. Byron had to check up for all of that business of Berryhill fluttering around. And yeah, good job to Kyle Larson. So let's take a look at the standings now. After the win at Michigan, Kyle Larson vaults himself into 4th place with his win. We have 9 different winners this season. Jimmy Johnson more than 2 races clear. Ricky Stenhouse 1 race clear. Joey Logano almost there, but still very tight. Alex Bowman, your cutoff driver. Martin Truex Jr. just 1 point behind, and you know, a race between 13th and 20th, and we head to the track where anything can happen again at the night race at Bristol. So short track action coming your way next week. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you for the next NASCAR Racing 2003 season video. Take care.